Hey, what's up nerds? Welcome back to another anime figurine haul. Yes, another one. There's going to be a lot of these. I've already done 2, and there's going to be a lot more to come. I got a lot of figurines during the most recent hiatus, and I mean a lot. So, yeah. So today I want to go through some Gacha and a couple of other video game-based figures that came in over the past year. I've never really been into Gacha personally. It's just never been like a game genre I've put any time in. But a lot of them do have some really cool character designs that come out of them, and in turn a lot of cool fan art, but more importantly a lot of cool figurines. So when a cool looking character gets a cool looking figure, then yeah, that's a good enough excuse for me to want to get it. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for today, so let's get into it. Starting with a couple of non-weeb figures, the first one I have here is the White Traveler from the game Journey. So Journey is essentially a walking simulator where you play as a character that looks kind of like this, except red, and you're just kind of going through a desert and a couple of other biomes along the way, rescuing a bunch of like carpet creatures. It sounds kind of dumb me saying it, but it's actually a really fun game. It's not very long, and it's just very atmospheric. It's got good music and whatnot. This figure specifically is based on an unlockable character that you can get by getting all the collectibles and all that kind of stuff. It's not that detailed, I'll be honest. It's very flat, and most of the detail is going into more the paint job on it, but it's still pretty accurate to what the character looks like. There also was the original skin for the Traveler released back in 21, but I didn't actually play Journey until 2022, so sadly I missed out on the first one, but to be honest, I prefer this one because it just looks cooler. I prefer the white and gold rather than the red and orange, so yeah, it's the first one we got here. So the other non-weeb figure I have here is the Dovahkiin from Skyrim. So while technically there's no canonical Dovahkiin in Skyrim because you can create your own character, so they can be like any race, any gender, so-and-so, whatever, there is a poster child, I would say, that being the male Nord with the iron helmet and the studded armor from the trailer and the promo art. So that's essentially what we have here. This is the poster child of the Dovahkiin, the representation of Dovahkiin. And honestly, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with it. It looks really well sculpted, and the paint looks pretty spot on. I do have a couple of gripes though, the first one being that they added a scabbard onto his left hand hip, while he's holding a sword in his left hand, and obviously you can kind of figure out why that's wrong because you don't pull a sword from the same hip that you wield it in. It's wrong, it's not where that fucking goes. And also, on his right hand, he's holding a dwarven dagger, which, if you've played the game, you obviously know that the dwarven dagger is bronze, not silver, and they made it silver in the figure, which I can kind of understand why they'd change it, just because it goes more with the color palette, and if it was bronze it would probably stand out a bit more, but at the same time, it's fucking wrong. And it's not like a deal breaker, but it does kind of irk me, just out of the fact that it's not correct. So yeah, that's a thing. Otherwise, this is a cool figure. I like it. Nice quality, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving into the actual anime-looking figures, and the last one of our pop-up parade figures for today, we've got Nobeta from Little Witch Nobeta. So this one is from I guess it's like a dungeon crawlery, not really. It's a Souls-like-ish kind of anime game where you fight a bunch of ghosts and possess dolls, and then have the occasional boss fight, which honestly is pretty tough. I'm not really good at those kind of games, but yeah, I've only gotten to the second boss, and I've only played like 2 hours of it, so I need to go back and continue the game that this is from. But as far as the figure goes, I think she's really cute. She's like a cute little witch. The quality is really nice. Honestly, she looks much better than the actual model in the game, and this figure itself is kind of what prompted me to play the game, because, you know, if you get to play as a cute little witch that is killing ghosts and possessed dolls in like a dark kind of premise, I think that's a win. Yeah, there's not much else I can really say about this one. I just think it looks cute, that's about it. So before we get into the big fancy scale gacha figures, I've got one here that's not really a figure, but more of just an extension kit. It being the extension kit for Amaya from Arknights. So recently the Nendroid of Amaya got a deluxe edition, which was just a re-release of the figure plus all this stuff. And so at the same time they also released this thing here, so people who already had the figure didn't have to buy it again just to get all the extra things. I'm pretty sure they probably do this with other Nendroids as well, or other Figmas. Figma? Whatever. Other like posable figures as well. But yeah, it's the first one I've ever bought, so I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. It just comes with like a dragon, some faceplates, and a few like bits and bobs like hands and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So the first big fancy gacha figure I have here is the Lazy Afternoon version of Evanth from the game Red Pride of Eden, and the figure's manufactured by Good Smile. Now, I will be honest, I know absolutely nothing about the game that this character is from. Like, I have not seen any gameplay footage, I've never seen any trailers, it's never really been on my radar. I just saw this character while going through AniNaffs one day, and I just thought she was adorable. I quite like the whole pink scheme and the nightwear kind of aesthetic that they've got with this one. And I quite like the whole cozy kind of little setup they have with all the plushies and the gaming setup. That's about it. I mostly buy my figures based on, does it look cute? Yes. Is it not too expensive? No. Okay, I'm gonna get it. So yeah, that's essentially it. I just think this figure looks cute. I also have the Nendroid of this character as well, which is like somewhere on my wall back there. So I guess that's another wee fact as well. I don't know, it's not relevant, but whatever. Moving on. So the next figure I have here is a character from Azur Lane, that being the 1/7 scale figure of Batch, manufactured by Mimeoi? Mimeoi? Spelled like this. I'm terrible with pronunciation, so I probably botched it. But yeah, this is one of two versions that were released of this one. You got this one, which is the standard one, which I obviously got. And then there was also a TF version, which is essentially a simpler release, where it just didn't come with the cannons on the side, or any extra faceplates or hand parts. I also got an email prior to this figure's release from AniNaffs, just being like, hey, just a heads up, there's a chance that there might be some manufacturer defects in this figure where the feet don't quite line up with the base. So if you want to cancel it, that's okay by us, just so you know. But obviously I opted into keeping her because she looks really cute. I really like the look of this figure. Plus, if it does have the issue, apparently the fix isn't that hard, because you just have to put the leg in warm water to make it a bit more malleable, and then you can line it up with the feet properly. I'm hoping that I don't have the issue, but if it does, worst case scenario, there is a simple fix. But yeah, I just thought she looked cute. She kind of has that smug lolly vibe going on. And also, prior to recording this video, I was having a look at her, and I noticed that she looks very similar to another figure I have called Stella, where they both have the whole short shorts, crop top, and the oversized puffy jacket that's off the shoulder. And they also technically have twin tails, because she has like the twin tails as well as the long flowing hair. This doesn't really have any relevance to anything, I just wanted to point it out. So yeah, moving on. So the next figure I have here is Asagi Mutsuki from Blue Archive. So she is a 1/7 scale figure manufactured by Plum, and I first came across her going through my figurine collection, just going through like the recent update stuff, and I was like, that looks cool, so I went to go see if there was a pre-order open anywhere. Turned out there was, but the thing is, when I buy figurines, I buy like 90% of them from AniNaffs at this point. It's just convenient. The only exception is when I want to get specific price figures, I have to go elsewhere, because I can't get new ones from AniNaffs. And so if scale figures that I want aren't on AniNaffs, I just typically don't bother. This one was the only real exception. This one I end up having to go to, I think, Hobby Link Japan to get her, because I just thought she looked adorable. I really like the look of this figure. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's just the stance or the whole aesthetic of the uniform, or just the fact that, you know, girls with guns are badass. But yeah, I really like the look of her. I think she's adorable. Also, I didn't know this prior to buying her, but while looking into this character before this video, I found out that this character, like this stance, is purely based off of her portrait in the game, which is this. So yeah, I think that's really good. Honestly, it's a really good likeness, and her character is just adorable. So yeah. And lastly, the final figure I have for today is the Magma version of Surtur from Arknights, manufactured by Mythos. So, from my little understanding of Arknights, this figure is based on the elite version of the character Surtur, which looks like this, and it looks like they more or less just took the like basic aesthetics of the collar, put it as the base, took the hand, made it a seat, and then just kind of gave her some dommy mummy vibes as far as the overall look of the character, which I'm totally for. Just like all the other gacha games, I've never really gotten into Arknights. I've done like the tutorial and that's it. But yeah, I think this character just looks really freaking cool. I also kind of looked into Surtur as a name, and I found out that this character is based on a fire giant from Norse mythology. I guess being a villain, so it kind of explains why they kind of have a bit more of a, you know, aggressive looking demeanor. But I am totally here for the look of this character. I think she looks really cool. She looks really badass. Plus the Arknight aesthetic overall, I'm quite fond of. It kind of has like this grungy streetwear post-apocalyptic kind of aesthetic to it. And I don't know what it is about it. I'm just quite fond of it, really. So yeah, this is the last one. I think she just looks pretty badass. I don't know what else to say about her. So that's about it. So yeah, they were all the figurines I wanted to cover in this video for today. If you did make it this far, thank you very much for dealing with my spurgy conversational skills, because I'm so bad at recording these. I've had to try to record this video so many times, because every time I sit down to try to do it, brain no work, I stutter and I kind of forget what I'm saying halfway through a sentence, so it's just pain. But I really like figures, and I just want to share it with people who also like figures. So if whatever I record now is salvageable, then good. Otherwise, thank you for dealing with whatever the fuck I put out in this video. I guess with that said, do all the things that YouTubey people say with the whole like, subscribe, comment, bruh 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 bruh. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully. See ya.